Welcome to the training for Mechanical Science Fundamentals, check valves. The average time to complete this training is estimated to be 20 minutes. After you have completed this portion of training, you will be directed to the next training lesson in the series for further instructions. These are the objectives for this course. A check valve is a specially designed valve that only allows fluid flow in one direction. These valves use the pressure of the fluid flowing through the pipeline to operate them. Pressure applied in the direction of allowed flow causes these valves to open. Pressure applied in the opposite direction causes these valves to close. Notice that most of the check valves you will see do not have valve stems or actuators. A swing check valve allows full, unobstructed flow in the allowed direction and automatically closes as flow and pressure decrease. When flow is in the allowed direction, the disc will lift off the seat and hinge upward out of the flow path. These valves are fully closed when the flow reaches zero to prevent backflow. Turbulence and pressure drop within the valve are low. Here we see a swing check valve in action. When flow enters the valve in the proper direction from under the disc will swing open, allowing flow through the valve. Notice the large cross-sectional area through the valve available for flow. If flow stops or pressure downstream of the valve gets higher than the inlet pressure, the disc will swing shut, blocking flow backwards or backflow through the valve. Swing check valves are recommended for lines having low velocity flow and should not be used on lines with pulsating flow when the continual flapping or pounding would be destructive to the seating elements. The valve body is marked with an arrow in the normal direction of flow. A swing check valve can be mounted horizontally or, when properly aligned, can be mounted vertically. The seating surface is placed at a slight angle to permit easier opening at lower pressures, more positive sealing, and less shock when closing under higher pressure. Lift check valves are suitable for installation in horizontal lines. They are recommended for use with steam, air, gas, water, and on vapor lines with high flow velocities. Flow to lift check valves must always enter below the seat. As the flow enters, the disc is raised within guides from the seat by the pressure of the upward flow. When the flow stops or reverses, the disc is forced onto the seat of the valve by both the backflow and gravity. Since gravity helps seat the valve, they are not good in vertical usage. Notice that the disc and seat arrangement look like a globe valve disc and seat arrangement. Here, you can see as the flow enters the valve below the disc, it pushes the disc upward, allowing flow through the valve. As long as pressure on the inlet side is greater than the pressure on the outlet side, the valve will stay open. If flow decreases or downstream pressure is higher than the inlet pressure, gravity will force the disc downward and shut the valve. A lift check is a check valve in a globe valve body. Just like a globe valve, they have high head loss. They may be unreliable in vertical piping runs since they rely partially on gravity to close. A ball check valve is a type of check valve that is similar to the lift check valve. The ball check valve uses a solid ball as a disc in a globe valve body. When flow enters from under the ball, it lifts the ball off of its seat and allows it flow through the valve. If flow stops or pressure on the outlet side becomes greater than the inlet side, the ball is forced back on its seat. A ball check has a seating arrangement similar to a globe valve. As flow enters the valve in the proper direction below the ball is pushed off of the seat, allowing flow through the seat to the outlet of the valve. Ball check valves are unreliable in vertical piping since they rely on gravity to work. They can be used in systems with rapidly fluctuating pressure and are quiet in operation. A piston check valve is a specially designed lift check valve. It has a piston with a spring above it that provides a cushioning effect during operation and assists in shutting the valve. The flow through a piston check valve must enter from under the seat, lifts the piston, compressing the spring, and allows flow through to the outlet of the valve. When flow stops, the spring helps force the piston downward, placing the disc back on the seat. A piston check valve is used primarily in piping systems experiencing very frequent changes in flow direction. Just like any of the check valves in globe valve bodies, they have high head loss. Since the spring helps seat the disc, they can be used in vertical piping runs. Valves of this type are used on water, steam, and air systems. A stop check valve is a combination of the lift check valve and the globe valve. It has a stem that, when closed, prevents the disc from coming off the seat and provides a tight seal, similar to a globe valve used for isolation. When the stem is in the open position, the valve operates as a lift check. The stem is not connected to the disc and functions only to close the valve tightly or to guide the travel of the valve disc in the open direction. In a stop check valve, when the stem is all the way down, in the closed position, the stop check valve prevents flow in either direction. When the stem is put in the open position, the disc is not attached to the stem, but allowed to slide up and down. When flow comes from the desired direction, it acts like a lift check valve and the disc slides upward on the stem and allows flow through the valve. If flow slows down or pressure on the outlet side becomes greater than the inlet side, it forces the disc back on the seat, preventing backflow through the valve. The stop check valve is unreliable in vertical piping since the check valve relies on gravity to work. The advantage of a stop check valve over other types of check valves is that the valve can be closed and used as an isolation valve. Since it is in a globe valve body, this valve has high head loss. Butterfly check valves have a seating arrangement similar to the seating arrangement of butterfly valves. Two semicircular discs are spring-loaded on a hinged stem. When flow is in the desired direction, the two discs flex inward, allowing flow through the valve. The butterfly check valve has two hinge plates spring-loaded onto a post. When flow is into the inlet side of the valve, the two plates are forced in the direction of flow towards each other. If pressure becomes greater on the downstream side, it forces the two plates closed, preventing backflow. The butterfly check valve design has similar flow characteristics to a butterfly valve. The short distance the disc must move from full open to fully closed inhibits the slamming action found in some other types of check valves. It is a low head loss valve. Since it is spring assisted, it can be used in vertical piping runs.